Well, hey, I'm Beatty, and welcome to RaveTalks. Here at RaveTalks, we set a standard for the EDM scene. We're a community promoting safety and well-being at events. This is an interesting mix of my passions and discoveries. So together, y'all, let's be PLUR. Oh, y'all, welcome to April and the second episode. Man, I don't know about y'all, but I am still exhausted from March and Miami Music Week. And now we're in the midst of Coachella, and it's just, rave season's coming in hot. But I love it. I love it so much. So I apologize for losing my voice. I feel like I've just been continuing to fight. I'm continually fighting getting sick, and I'm totally losing my voice in the process. So sorry about that. But no, today I'm so excited for this show. I'm talking about some fun things that aren't always kind of thought of, from friend code to female artists, and big part of the rave scene that makes it like the essence that it is in an exciting artist interview. So I won't share too much right now, but a few announcements before we dive into it. Everybody who is going to Coachella, I am extremely jealous, and I hope you're living your best life. If you're not going to Coachella, there's also Rez in Arizona coming up this weekend. Super, super excited for. We are actually attending, and I'm really excited because one, Rez, love her, she's amazing, but also my other love, Troy Boy, is gonna be there. Troy Boy is so fire. So yes, hope to see you guys there, and please tag us in your stories or message us. We live vicariously through you guys. Also, we have a really exciting influencer campaign running right now that it's not too late to sign up. If you're interested in creating content and representing RaveTalks at events and festivals, make sure to go to our website and sign up for the content creator program. That way you get subscribed to all the emails and get all the notifications of whenever another campaign goes live. So before we continue to Rave Soup, I almost forgot the other exciting thing too. Before we continue to Rave Soup, basically say the same thing. Here is a fire drop from Nielsen. Nielsen's an incredible artist. We're so lucky to have met. Absolutely love his music, and I hope you guys enjoy this drop too. For Rave Soup today, we asked people who their favorite female DJ was, and asked another group of people how long they've been raving. It may not make too much sense right now, but it totally ties in the whole episode. So here you go. Who's your favorite female DJ?
Lays! Aluna. I love Aluna. She's like my heart and soul. But she's not here tonight, but I'm still gonna party like she's here tonight.
Yes, I love that.
My favorite DJ, Level Up. She throws down like crazy, bro. I have headbanged so hard to her. It was the best thing ever. Audiotistic. Every time she's at Bill Graham, doesn't matter, she goes crazy. All the time. Level Up. Let's go.
Lays, as you can see from our jerseys.
Yes.
Same Lays.
Yeah. Alice in Wonderland.
Oh, yes.
Bay. That's Bay.
How many years have you been raving?
I've been raving for 2 years. Started Countdown 2021.
Oh my gosh, that's awesome. That was right after COVID and everything.
And the first time we had to wear masks.
Yes, I remember that.
It's our first time.
Oh my
God. One day, not even 24 hours.
I know, not even 24 hours. That's crazy.
For 5 or 6 years.
I'm just a little rave baby. I started last February.
Congrats, welcome. How long have you been raving?
About 9 years now.
9 years?
9 years.
Oh my gosh. Do you remember your first rave?
It was an Excision rave. It was a long, long way back. And I remember it was the first time that I felt music instead of hearing music. And it was, I can't even describe what that felt like.
Last episode, we talked about what to do if you're a bystander of sexual assault. Today, for the Rave Safe segment, I want to talk about friend code. So picture having a great time and all of a sudden you feel uncomfortable, some random person's making you uncomfortable, whatever, and you want to get out of the situation. Or you're overstimulated, but don't want to make it super obvious. You want to have a code word with that one friend you know knows you and knows when you're uncomfortable. Picking the right code word can be tricky sometimes because you want it to be a word that can be used in normal sounding like phrases or conversations, but also a word that you won't accidentally use in normal conversations. So code words that I kind of like to do is a name because a name is like can play off sounding normal, but there could also be nobody in your group named that. So for example, let's just say the name Jamie. Like, hey, have you heard from Jamie recently? We should try to go find Jamie. Or I also like to use a food word because food's a pretty easy thing to get out of situations, like a corn dog. You never see corn dogs at festivals now. So you could say something like, hey, I'm really craving a corn dog. Let's go find one. If a code word seems too hard to remember, because sometimes it is, there's always the look. And the look is like a secret word between buddies. Like, a silent alert that says like, let's go. And it's all in the eyes. So like a quick glance that says more than 1,000 words ever could should be like, red flag, let's bolt. The biggest thing with code cues is that if your friend uses a code cue, whether that's a word or the look, listen to it and act on it. Period. Like in the moment, you may not know why your homie is using a code word, and that doesn't matter in that moment until you have left the situation, then you have a conversation. I also think it's best to have another code word for if you're starting to feel a little lit. And I say a little too lit or a little lit because sometimes it can be hard to tell, if a friend is starting to get faded. I've had that happen to me before. So it's kind of like picking a phrase or a word for that, or even just straight up telling your friend you're starting to feel lit honestly gives warning of a little extra watching out for you when that happens, which there's nothing wrong with that at all. It's just kind of like a little extra care, like giving you some water or going to a more open space to sit down. It allows your friend to kind of like be able to check up on you, so you don't cross that line of being like too faded. It's all plus, like at the end of the day, it's always better if someone knows than not knowing you're starting to feel like at that level, Also, 2 more things for friend code situations. If your friend chooses to venture off, make sure y'all have each other's locations. Because you never know at the end of the day how difficult it can be or anything can happen. It just helps. And if you're the type of person who likes to venture off alone or with a new person you meet there, have a conversation with your friend before going to the event. Not all people are comfortable with that. So it's always best to have open dialogue about that. I've gone to festivals with people who don't care if their friend ventures off, and also have gone to festivals with people who do. Sometimes you think it'd be common sense, but those conversations don't always happen ahead of time. And it's all about comfort level. Be a homie, a friend code homie. Before we continue to the hot topic, here's a fire drop from Nielsen. So hot topic today, besides Coachella, which I'm hearing all the most amazing things and having the worst FOMO at not being there. Man, I hope y'all are watching all the lives like I am because they've been bomb. Okay, but besides Coachella, there's been a good amount of talk lately around PLUR. And let me just say this first in general. Many industries are misrepresented and no one knows that better than the rave scene. The rave scene was built on PLUR. So I want to talk about the evolution of PLUR and debunk some of the controversies around it because PLUR actually came about for positive reasons. The acronym PLUR, which is Peace, Love, Unity, and Respect, has deep roots in the rave and EDM culture. It was created in the early days of the scene as a guiding ethos for festival attendees, ravers. It was a response to the stereotypes of negativity and aggression often associated with mainstream nightlife and culture back then, which interestingly sounds sometimes a little familiar today too. The peace and love in the acronym was interestingly influenced from the 1960s hippie movement, and the unity and respect was influenced from the hip hop and rap culture of the 90s. So those two influences led DJ Frankie Bones to first popularizing PLUR in the early 1990s as a way to promote a more positive and inclusive atmosphere at raves. Fun side note, PLUR was originally PLUM, which stood for Peace, Love, Unity Movement. And they spray painted PLUM in subway tunnels. I think it was as a reference for underground raves and also implying come with positive vibes like zon't, bring that negative energy into our fun space. During that time, so after they changed PLUM evolved to PLUR, Frankie Bones had these events called Storm Raves where they promoted PLUR. And there were these interviews back in the day with Frankie Bones, I don't know when, where he talked about how people who'd normally fight or just like aggressive, negative people in general would come to those events, and instead of fighting, they did not, and everyone just danced and had a great time. So freaking beautiful and sounds pretty prevalent still to today. Each letter in PLUR carries significant meaning. So peace is encouraging attendees to resolve and handle conflicts peacefully and promote a harmonious atmosphere. Love is promoting a sense of compassion, empathy, camaraderie among ravers. Unity emphasizes the importance of coming together as a community, regardless of differences, to celebrate music and dance. Respect advocates for treating others with kindness, dignity, and understanding, regardless of their background or beliefs. And the newest is responsibility, which is holding yourself accountable and looking out for others. PLUR quickly became a central belief of the rave scene. I mean, we just embraced it as festival goers as a way to connect with others and create meaningful experiences beyond the music and beyond dancing. Since raving has started, if you think about it, the music has changed, DJs have changed, the people have changed, even venues and the visual experience has changed. But one thing that has remained consistent this whole time is PLUR. PLUR is so deeply ingrained in our culture, and thankfully, a lot of us still uphold these values, promoting inclusivity, acceptance, and positivity at events around the world. In fact, PLUR has transcended its origins in the rave scene and has been adopted by various subcultures and communities as a guiding philosophy for promoting unity and understanding. I mean, I feel like PLUR is a total state of mind and a way of life because it serves as a reminder that regardless of the music or the venue, the spirit of peace, love, unity, and respect can continue to thrive and bring us beautiful, beautiful people together. And I strive to live like that now in my everyday life. And I have raving to thank me for that. Raving showed me that it's possible for a large group of people to be inclusive and positive and understanding and loving. And it's a really beautiful thing. It's my favorite part of raving and something that I'm really proud of to talk about with people that I know or like employers and employees when they ask what I'm doing on the weekends, like talk about raves and really talk about the PLUR part of it. Before we continue to the exciting artist interview, here is another fire drop from Musa. Hi everyone, it's Beatty from RaveTalks here with RaveTalks with Artists. Today I have the exciting pleasure to introduce somebody amazing to you guys. You are
Zeke Beats, and I come all the way from Western Australia.
Thank you so much for being here with us today. How are you doing?
I'm doing good. I've just been on and off with flights all day and delays, and I'm here, I'm happy, and I'm excited to play Wobbleland. It's going to be awesome. I literally play in like 40 minutes, so it hasn't like hit me that it's realistic yet.
Yeah.
I think this is the third time I played this, but I'm excited. How are you?
Yeah, we're great. We just came from Countdown and seeing you play at Countdown.
Awesome.
Yeah,
Hell
and
yeah.
saw the whole thing with your family being there. That must have been such a beautiful full circle moment. Like that's one of my goals is to have my family with me and try to hold back the tears.
Yeah, it was such a special moment. You know, I've said this so many times now, it's almost like become a line, but when something gets taken away from you and you're in fear of that being gone forever all of a sudden, it really puts into perspective the moments and the time you cherish with people. So, because things aren't always going to be the same. So, and my biggest message for that whole festival and everything was gratitude and 2024 gratitude, being present. So make the most of every moment with your loved ones, and whatever you love doing, time's precious. So
appreciate every moment. And with that being said, like you said before, you've been traveling a lot, performing a lot. I know the Self-Sabotage tour has recently started ish in December. What has been kind of inspiring your work for these mixes that you do live?
Well, a lot of my, like, if I'm doing scratch routines and stuff like that, they tend to just happen because I used to do, like, it'll be like an improv thing, right? And then I'll be like, that was really cool. And then I will, like, refine it once I go back home because, like, that was really cool. And how can I refine this with the next song? And then I'll just start trying things to the point where I'll even take stems from my own track or rip stems and make... Like, I even hit up, like, Hamdi for the instrumental version of Skanker, you know, on SoundCloud. I didn't even know the guy. I was like, hey, bro, I'm Zeke Beats, I scratch. Would you mind bouncing me a version without the vocals? You know, that one. And then he bounced it out, and then that was, like, the first kind of viral clip that happened. And I was like, oh, people like this shit. So I just kept doing it, and, like, you know, now I'm getting more known for the scratching than the producing, which is kind of cool. Yeah.
Well, I mean, it's just so fascinating. You don't see many people that do it. And not to mention, you were the best, like the 4th ranked in the world for best turntablist.
Once upon a time. Not currently. Like, I can't speak to that now.
But still, to be able to do that once that's impressive, and that takes a lot of skill. It's like they say to like master any skill, it takes 10,000 hours.
Oh, yeah.
And to be fourth placed in the world, one can only think of the amount of time and practice that you put into it. So I mean, that's a really cool thing.
Thank you.
What got you into scratching?
I started DJing from the age of 13 because my high school music teacher, he came over from the UK. UK had a lot of like rave music influence and underground stuff like that. So he actually used some of the school budget to buy some turntables for the school. And I was so intrigued by these turntables and the mixer, and he had like about 6 records for us to learn how to like beat match. And I just took a liking to it. And I'm the youngest of 4 boys. My 3 older brothers, it goes 10 years older, 8 years older, 6 years older. So having those kind of gaps, I was exposed to a lot of old school electronic music from a very young age.
Yeah.
So like Prodigy and Ronnie Size and all this really cool like underground like DJ Kenny Ken and rave music that a lot of people might not know about. But with the whole scratching thing, I just became infatuated like from about 17 or 18 onwards. Before that, it was just mixing music and just like getting a feel for things. But until I actually saw somebody scratch in person, I was like completely just blown away by it. And I was just like, I need to do that. So I just like saved up money, bought turntables. I learned how to scratch off a DVD. It's like you watch DJ Qbert how to do it, and then he leaves space for you to do it. So do like a back and forth thing. And from there, from the first year I started scratching, I won my first state championship in it. And then the second year, and then the third year, so I won 3 years in a row, each time going to the Australian Championships. But first year I placed like 6th or something, second year I placed 3rd or 4th, and then the last one I came runner-up in that. And then there was another comp, which I won altogether, which is an Australian and New Zealand comp, and that's the one which led me to the Worlds in Poland, where I represented Australia and got 4th placing.
Wow.
And then after that, if I'm to like emphasize more, DJ Qbert, he started like an online scratching university. And then I was submitting in the competitions there, and he responded to my video because he does video responses. And he was like, bro, like, what the hell? Like, that was amazing. And I ended up winning the competition which he ran. And from there, we became friends, and he was like, yo, if you ever want to come out to San Francisco, which is so funny because we're here right now. If you want to come to San Francisco and crash with me for like a week or something, it'd be really cool to like just sit down and scratch. And yeah, so I took holidays from my work. I was an electrician at the time. And then came here and hung out with Q, scratched, and just like traded a lot of knowledge. And that's kind of my feet into like where I was getting recognized more so as somebody who was like, not just a DJ or not just somebody winning competitions, but I started getting the respect of many elders like, Z-Trip, Jazzy Jeff, like all the great hip hop DJs. And, Z-Trip's like texting me tonight. I would never imagine in my wildest of dreams where I'm somebody who like has the ability to have that respect from them. And, I'm like, holy shit, to me. I know a lot of people might not know who that is nowadays because the scene's changed a lot. But for me, that's like such a huge thing. So, I know I'm kind of rambling now. But.
No, it really is. I was just about to say, you actually got the next question for me.
Really?
But no, because for those of you guys who don't know, DJ Qbert is iconic legend. I mean, he was rated best DJ in America for sure. I'm pretty sure in the world too in 2010. I mean, he won scratching contests in 1991, just like legend. Same with Z-Trip. Z-Trip's been around like forever, and he was one of the OGs before Pasquale Rotella really started Insomniac. Like, I mean, you want to know the classics, that's what makes your music and your talent absolutely incredible because it's our generation mixing with like the OGs and really allowing to like keep the pure essence and the nostalgia like of the music of the rave scene alive.
Oh yeah.
So it's really cool.
I do have a funny story about Z-Trip and I. So basically I ended Red Bull 3 style in Australia and I didn't win it, and he was one of the judges. And he was like, this is some bullshit. Like, you know, so then like afterwards, like, you know, we kind of met up and stuff. He's like, bro, you should have won easy. And if you come to America, hit me up, like, come stay with me. Like, we spent our New Year's during COVID together.
Wow.
Like, you know, that's how close knit we are and like how much of a homie he is. And like, we really, really get along with one another. I think he kind of sees me as a younger version of himself, which is like humbling to me. And yeah, you know, when I was hanging out with him, he was like, yeah, you should have won that shit. And then I played Low End Theory in LA when it was still running, and I was staying with him. He came out and he's like, yeah, you motherfuckers ain't ready for this set, and like gave me all these shout outs and told all the story. And to be introduced by like one of the greats like that was just like, damn, you know. So
and it is actually, you know, it's truly inspiring. And I was going to ask, what advice do you have to share about getting to that journey? Because I know there's so many other artists out there that would love to just be able to have, it's almost like mentoring and like looking out for you in a sense. It's incredible. So what advice do you have to share about getting that journey?
My advice would be just to follow your heart and your passion. If you're truly passionate about it, you're going to put in a lot of practice, and it won't actually be practice because the way you view it is as fun. And it's a relationship which I've seen throughout many of my students as well, because I actually used to teach in Australia. I ran my own DJ and music production school.
Oh, wow.
And so I could definitely see the difference between those who wanted it for a status and those who were just purely passionate about it. And it was like always the passionate ones were the ones who are like always in the school, always practicing, like booking in sessions. And that's the key to success. It's not trying to like force something for an impure reason. If it's like legitimate and it's pure, like it's going to come to fruition. It's the way the universe works. And I truly believe that because it's worked for me. I would not think I'm like where I am with everything. Like everything I've ever wanted, I've been so blessed. I've gotten it. I've like manifested it in some weird way. Yeah. And it's not just in the turntablism world, it's also in the music production world. And before I produced music, I was just DJ Zeke scratching, but I really like the weird like underground LA beat scene. Eprom was touring in Australia for the first time, and I supported him, and then we got along, and he's like, yeah, if you ever come to America, come see me in Portland and we can hang out, blah, blah, blah. And he taught me a lot of my music production stuff. So,
oh, wow.
And that was somebody who, that's where it's like the transition from turntablism happened into music production was through him, because he was an old school hip hop head. Yeah. He loved DJ Craze and all the old school rave shit. And then he saw that within me. And that's how we kind of got along, really, because he's like, oh, you know your music, you know? And then he actually brought me, I went over his house one time. We started a music project together. I didn't know shit. I didn't even know what Ableton was. And he saved that project for me, and he named it Zeke Beats. So that's actually how I got my name, was through EEPROM.
Wow.
And he didn't know that for the longest time till I told him about it. And then I backwards engineered that project, like I obsessed about it. I was like, how does he, figure it all out. And then I started building my own knowledge and started making music, and I was lucky because people liked it. So
I mean, it's great.
Well,
it's great.
It's a bit wild, a bit wacky, I know, but that's me.
And it was, like you said, it's a dream come true to be able to like be doing everything that you love. What feelings come to mind being able to perform for family, friends, and fans? Like every time, Wobbleland, perfect example.
Yeah, I mean, the feeling I always get is just so much excitement, and then only halfway through the set, I just like look at where I am and what I'm doing, and I feel lots of gratitude, and just like seeing that I am doing something which is true to my heart, but also reaching out to others and like making them happy is something which is fulfilling, which I can't explain. Yeah. It's like if you're doing something which is like making someone's day better or like bringing people together for something of a positive cause, I love that, you know. And I know not everyone comes out for the same reasons. Like, let's be honest, you know, it's the same way in anything in the world. You know, certain people come out to party and whatever. Certain people come out because they're art connoisseurs and they're really into the art. And no matter what it is, still bringing all these people together, all of different, like, you know, different shape
sizes,
sizes.
backgrounds.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
And it's a really beautiful thing for me personally. And, you know, when I look out into the crowd and I see certain people who are like just really present and like really, you know,
You just
there,
see, like, mesmerized by the
I
whole
love
art.
that. Exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah. Whereas like if someone's really like drunk or whatever, I'm just kind of like, oh, please be safe.
Yes.
Yeah. So.
Well, that's true. Like you do get a mixed. And what advice would you give on how to stay safer at events for both men and women?
I mean, having a good friend group is always key, and letting people know, obviously, where you are and what you're doing. And, you know, having, obviously, making sure you have like a contingency plan. If something goes wrong, okay, let's meet up at this spot by this time. If we get lost, I think that's a really good one to have. See, personally, it's kind of funny for me to think about because I don't really attend because I'm a performer, right? So I'm always performing. Yeah. So if I attend things, I tend to get bugged a lot because it's like, oh, you're Zeke Beats, right? And then once one person notices, a train starts, you know?
Yeah.
But this is a interesting perspective. So that's what I would do, you know, and just make sure you check in with your friends. Make sure you stay hydrated and all the normal things. Make sure you have some food, like, you know, and just like contingency plans is always like a good idea. So, yeah.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. I agree. Mm-hmm. Well, to close it all out, I won't keep you too long. This has been amazing. What is Zeke Beats' message as a turntablist, producer, artist, DJ? What's your message?
Stay true to yourself, and you know, just because something might be popular in a moment, don't just chase after that. You'll never get to where you want. And that's something to do with dignity and self-respect. Are you going to dignify yourself by being true to who you are, or are you going to keep pleasing people? So that way, art will always grow. If everyone's just following the trends, then we become robots. So, yeah.
Ah, I love that.
Yeah.
Thank you so much.
Awesome.
And then before we go, because we're all about spreading PLUR and everything, we actually wanted to trade a candy with you.
Okay, awesome.
That's okay.
Sweet. Oh, yeah.
Peace, love, unity, respect. It's an alien.
Oh, really?
Because you make like alien
The humanoid must not
futuristic.
escape.
Yes.
Exactly. Well, thank you. I
Thank
appreciate
you.
you. Thank you so much. I appreciate you taking the time during the interview. So.
Yes. Thank you so much for sitting here and taking the time for letting us get to know you and get to know Zeke Beats and understand the amazing music that you make.
Oh, yeah.
And for everybody who's listening, thank you so much for catching another one of Rave Talks with Artists. And make sure to check us out on Instagram, Facebook, Twitter, and Zeke Beats as well.
Awesome. Thanks, Rave Talks. Peace, guys.
Bye. Today's festival weather report, there is so much to cover with so many festivals next month. But before jumping into May, this weekend in Arizona, we are super excited to be attending the Rez Can You See Me album event. It'll be all hypnotized sounds of Rez with direct support from my absolute favorite Troy Boy and Resco, Holly, and Digital Ethos. Y'all, it's not too late to grab tickets to this. We have the ticket link posted at the bottom of our website's homepage in our festival agenda area. Definitely want to grab a ticket now because this show is about to be so juicy. And if you're already attending, we can't wait to see you there. The weather at the Raceway Saturday is predicted to be high 95 to low 64, i.e., perfect weather to be hypnotized. Next month kicks off with Soulfest Music Festival held in Florida this year. To make things even better, the weather is cloudy and sunny with temperatures being low 80s to mid 50s. Absolutely perfect weather that'll make for a perfect festival experience because the fits will be staying on fleek. May 17th to the 19th is EDC Las Vegas. Y'all, can you believe it's already less than a month away? And per usual, your girl is not ready. I have 0 fits planned, and from what I've learned from previous years is that I can have the absolute cutest outfit, but it doesn't mean anything if I'm freezing and end up wearing a hoodie or like a sweatshirt or something the whole time. Just ruins it. So with that said, the weather currently is cloudy all weekend, with temperatures being high 80s with lows being mid 60s Friday and Saturday. Now, Sunday is kind of similar with weather forecasting, cloudy with temperatures high 80s with a low of 59 degrees. So it sounds like Sunday will be the chilliest day. Regardless, the last few years, it's been on the chillier side at night. So I still seriously recommend packing something warmer that's easy to wear or carry, or put it in a locker. You know, as we get closer to this event, we'll also put out more content on how to pack, and please let us know if you're attending. We would love to see you. Hangout Music Festival this year is also at the same time as EDC Las Vegas, but in Gulf Shores, Alabama. So the weather's forecasting cloudy and sunny with temperatures being high 80s and low 70s. All around, y'all, May is totally in our ravers' favor because this is such beautiful weather across the board. Thank you, rave gods. You know, as you start prepping for these festivals, make sure to check out our blogs on the website and our socials. We have a lot of content on packing, to festival fashion inspo, and safety tips. Before we move on, here is another drop from Nielsen. Okay, y'all, so before I peace out, if you ever want to be a content creator in the scene, now is the time. Go to our website and sign up to our content creator program to represent RaveTalks at the next festival or event you're at. Also, keep an eye out for our socials. We'll be listing a few fun giveaways very soon. Thank you guys so much for tuning in to another episode of RaveTalks. Make sure to hit that subscribe button and follow us on our website, Instagram, TikTok, and Twitter. Always lots of informative content coming out. And if there's anything you guys want us to cover, please message us. Words can never express how grateful we are for you. The love is unconditional. PLUR is our mantra. So stay golden, Rave fam. How does it get better than that? Now, back to Nielsen for a special surprise clip. Bye.